no problem. He came home at Ascot like a mile will suit, so he's a danger to all here.
Yeah, so those are they then for the Portland Place Properties Conditions Stakes. A couple of horses aiming to give quite a bit of weight all around. Crius and Saigon, with a more recent form of Sovereign Debt, be the one that holds sway.
Wow. Proud sponsors of Racing UK.
This is the Portland Place Properties Stakes Conditions event with a mile. The trip, 6 runners taking part. Gabriel doesn't go, nor does Red Duke. Betting has Sovereign Debt as the solid and supported 6-4 favourite, having opened 15-8. 9-4 Mukadram. Mr Music is at 6-1. 10-1 about the very weak Saigon. 11-1 Eastern Sun, and Crius is at 14s. Sovereign Debt, the market leader for the Michael Bell yard, at 6-4.
Michael Bell runs Sovereign Debt in this conditions event next. You were rather undone by a difficult draw, I think, at Royal Ascot. It made things difficult in the Jersey Stakes.
Yeah, and there was a huge field, and it was the quickest ground of the week that day, and he's at home with a bit of juice in the ground, and he didn't get the clearest to run, so, you know, at face value, he looked a bit unlucky. So today is a good opportunity for him.
Yes, you've got ideal conditions. You'll be one of the few traders who's delighted with the rain that we've had.
Yeah, I mean, he's at home with a bit of juice. When he won at Ascot, 3 weeks before the Jersey, it was, was plenty of cut in the ground, and no, I mean, the ground, my worry is the trip. I personally think he might be better over 7, might be a specialist 7 furlong horse. But today will be a good test. Probably won't go hugely quick, only a small field. So, we should get away with the pace, hopefully.
Do you have other targets in mind for him later on in the season?
Well, obviously, a lot depends. If he gets the mile today, we could look towards mile races. If he doesn't stay, we'll be dropping back to 7. So I think today is a sort of interesting. We had him in over 7 at Newbury, and Laurie, his own, was keen to run today over a mile to open up options for later in the year.
Just to find out, basically.
Exactly.
Okay. You were just talking to Graham off camera about Gabriel the Great, who was quite an impressive win of a race that might not have been the strongest, but he's been put up 9. Gabriel the Great. What's the plan for him? We were talking amongst ourselves, the Melrose being a possibility.
Yeah,
Would that be?
Very much so. It is. I think could be a plan. I think he went up 9 for winning by a length and a quarter. I think the handicapper probably got a bit carried away with what he actually achieved that day, but he does look. He's a very good looking horse. He's by Mangeur, so you like to think with a good looking son of Mangeur, 93 is not a high rating. He's a terrific stallion, so I think there's more to come from him.
Might we see him before York?
Probably not.
Okay, put away till York.
I hope so, if I have my way. Dr. Kukash always likes running his horses. This horse is 16-3, he needs time, so I think realistically a month would do him a world of good.
Okay. Fascinating. Best of luck here, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Bell on the chances of Sovereign Debt and one or two other of his stable stars. 11-8 Sovereign Debt, and this one of course finished 9th at Royal Ascot last time up behind Ishvana, and has been well supported today. 5-2 Mukadram. Mr Music is at 13-2. Saigon has come back into 9s from 10. So Sovereign Debt, Chris, I know you're quite keen on this one. You can see there Jamie Spencer just standing up in the irons, taking this one down to the start. Was impressive at Ascot 2 starts ago with give. Not so much give last time up, and still didn't run badly.
No, he ran very well, I felt, at Royal Ascot. I thought he was a little bit unlucky. He should have gone very close to winning. He was held up. He didn't get the best runs through. He finished very strongly. He met all sorts of trouble coming through that day. And he'd been impressive the time before. The handicap that he won didn't really work out, but he won it so comfortably. From a couple of horses that arrived there in reasonable form, he relishes easy ground by the looks of things. My worry is the same as what Michael Bell mentioned, really, and that's this trip on this ground, really. It might just stretch him. There's a chance that the distance will be a little bit too far for him. Don't forget he's by Dark Angel, who's a speed influence as much as anything else.
But this is a stronger race. It was only a Class 3 handicap at Doncaster, but ran over a mile at that track on soft ground and was finishing well enough in behind them at what you like. So I think I wouldn't see the trip as a problem.
No, I suppose you've got an uphill finish here. It's maybe a little bit of a stiffer track, but yeah, I think that's a fair point. But I think that he's a thoroughly likeable horse. I think 11-8 has got a little bit too skinny, but at 15-8 it would definitely be interesting. I basically think that he is the most likely winner of the race. He's got his ideal conditions, which might not be the case for all of them.
It may not be, and this is a good bit of placement from Michael Bell to try and regain the winning thread after the lack of good fortune at Royal Ascot last time up. You can see him in shot, and the runner's just arriving at the post.
Great, that's kind though. No, fine, thank you. So there's Sovereign Debt in shot. Faces just 5 rivals, and we managed to get the tactics of the Princess of Wales all right, although we didn't really expect Liam Jones to do that, to go on a half-mile out on Harris Street, but we worked that out. What's going to happen here? Is it less straightforward?
Well, we have 3 horses who can make the pace. Cryas has in the past, Easter Sun has in the past, and so's Mr. Music. So I don't think we should get a crawl here, and that could be important for Sovereign Debt, who was held up in rear at Ascot and came home very powerfully. McAdram, if he handles this soft ground, I think he's probably a reasonably good horse waiting to happen, based on his physique and his strong progression in 3 runs so far.
He'd won a pace as well,
I think so, yeah. Well, he looked a strong galloper, both at Newmarket when he won his maiden and last time until stamina ebbed away. So I don't think we should get a crawl. I hope we don't. Key horses about to go in, right of picture and centre picture, McAdram and Sovereign Debt, and I think it might be tight between the 2. I haven't played the race, but they look the 2 horses with most potential here.
Michael Bell concerned about whether a mile sees Sovereign Debt at its optimum, so if we do get that strong pace, the doubts might be in the closing stages for that horse, at least in Michael Bell's mind. Now, just playing up slightly as McAdram, he was thinking about being conscious in the paddock, but he's better now.
And they're off and racing for the Portland Place Properties Condition Stakes. 6 runners leave the stalls. Cryas over on the far side, the white cap showing well up with Eastern Sun. Down the centre, Mukadram leads that little group in blue and white with Saigon. At the rear of the field, Mr. Music and Sovereign Debt under restraint. So Cryas is keen, being kept solo towards the far rail, and has the overall advantage and is pressing on. Eastern Sun towing the group up down the centre with Mukadram in blue and white. Saigon, as they pass the 6, in the pink colours. Mr. Music and Sovereign Debt in green and white is anchored at the rear of the field. But Cryas out in front, leading by a good few lengths as well as they head on past the 5. Eastern Sun is in second place, about 4 to 5 lengths behind the leader. Mukadram is in third, ahead of Saigon, Sovereign Debt and Mr. Music, and they're all edging over to come and sit in Cryas' wake, so racing far more towards the far side than for any other race so far this afternoon. Cryas, however, is being closed on and is only a couple of lengths clear now from Eastern Sun in second. Mukadram's in third, blue and white. Saigon comes next, the yellow colours of Mr. Music, and still no move from Jamie Spencer on Sovereign Debt as they make their way past the 3. Eastern Sun has got to and has nosed past Cryas. Mukadram travels well. Sovereign Debt's pulled towards the outside of the field, the grey being unwound towards the centre now. Furlong and a half to go. Mukadram has moved through to lead from Eastern Sun. Sovereign Debt and Saigon are the next 2, but Mukadram still leads. Sovereign Debt now beginning to full cry, coming to join, and Sovereign Debt moves past Mukadram on the run up towards the line. Sovereign Debt by about a length or so from Mukadram, and Sovereign Debt has moved through to win pretty comfortably, going away for Jamie Spencer and Michael Bell. Sovereign Debt, well, Mukadram was second, Saigon third, just ahead of Eastern Sun, and they were clear of Mr. Music and Cryas, the last 2 home.
So New Horizons potentially open for Sovereign Debt. Michael Bell said he wanted to find out whether the horse was effective over a mile, and he has found out, at least on this evidence, that he is. Jamie Spencer, who rode the horse patiently once again, came through to challenge McAdram, and in the end, having initially not seeming to be picking up that well, ran on past McAdram quite readily, and that horse has finished second. Paul Hannigan and William Haggis teaming up. Third, Saigon, best of the horses with the penalty, and Eastern Sun is fourth. These are the closing stages when McAdram takes over from Eastern Sun.
Pretty impressive in the end. Took a little while to respond, and he's no 7 furlong specialist, not by a long chalk, because he might not have won this at 7 today, because McAdram got first run at him, got the drop on him, and quickened pretty well himself, but then edged into the far side. Far side explode here, really for the first time in the early parts of the race, thanks to Richard Hughes and Cryas. But at the line, it's 2 lengths, pat down the shoulder, well done to Sovereign Debt, building on the promise of that